and grace for every day. Through your word, our hearts will see the Lord of hope. Let's go! Oh, 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 oh. We're alive in what you say. Let your truth light up the way. Let's go!
It is easy to curate a spotless religious identity. We attend the right services, share the right verses, and adopt the expected social stances. But beneath that external polish, it is just as easy for the heart to remain cold or judgmental. This tension between performance and reality is the flashpoint of Matthew chapter 15. A delegation of Pharisees travels a significant distance from the capital, not to learn, but to catch Jesus on a technicality regarding ritual handwashing. These were men of immense stature. They journeyed from Jerusalem, the center of elite scholarship and religious power, to enforce their authority. Their accusation was based on paradosis, the tradition of the elders. This was a massive collection of oral laws that, over time, had effectively replaced the actual text of the Bible in daily practice. Jesus exposes a loophole called Corban. A person could claim wealth was dedicated to God, legally diverting funds from aging parents. This allowed the elite to avoid family duty while appearing devoted. The parents were left with nothing, despite the rules being strictly followed. When human traditions become the priority, they create a system that values rules over people. According to Jesus, that makes the entire act of worship empty. Jesus counters this system with a claim that broke with centuries of religious law. What goes into a person's mouth doesn't defile them. It's what comes out of the mouth that matters. He uses the word koinoo, or defilement. He moves the definition of unclean away from ritual hygiene and places it squarely on the condition of the soul. Think of a tree. You can't save a dying plant by polishing its leaves if the root system is rotting. Health or decay starts where it can't be seen. Jesus explains that the heart is the source of our real problems, producing evil thoughts, murder, and slander. The internal well always determines the quality of the water that spills out. Any attempt to reach holiness by regulating the outside is useless if the inside remains unchanged. Jesus immediately puts this internal focus to the test. He leaves the traditional borders of Israel and walks directly into hostile Gentile territory. He arrives in the coastal region of Tyre and Sidon. This was a foreign, pagan landscape, a stark contrast to the religious atmosphere of Jerusalem. He is met by a Canaanite woman. To a first-century Jew, her people were the ancient, bitter enemies of Israel. She has no religious credentials and no claim to ritual purity. She has only a desperate, persistent plea for her daughter, who is suffering under demon possession. Jesus tests her, and her response reveals what he calls megas pistis, great faith. She doesn't argue her own merit. Instead, she relies entirely on his mercy, with a bold, humble wit. Jesus heals her daughter instantly. Shortly after, he feeds a crowd of 4,000 Gentiles in that same region, providing for them just as he had for Israel. Persistent faith ignores the boundaries of tradition. It proves the kingdom is open to anyone who is humble enough to admit their need. This chapter reveals Jesus as the heart searcher. He isn't interested in religious performance. He looks for what is true. This calls for a heart audit. We have to stop looking at the flaws in the world out there and start investigating the heart in here. Here is a simple test. Pay attention to the words that come out of your mouth the next time you are stressed, angry, or caught off guard. Those unfiltered moments bypass our practiced routines. They are the most accurate map of our heart's actual condition. When you find that mess, don't hide it. Adopt the posture of the Canaanite woman. Bring your longest-held, most desperate needs to Jesus, and do not give up. Regardless of your background or your past, God never turns away a heart that stops performing and simply seeks his mercy.
This truth into your day. Let his light